is good? It's your boy Ty back here with another video, and in this video today, guys, we're going to be doing a short and sweet tier list of the top centers right now in NBA 2K23 MyTEAM. Now, the first thing I'd recommend, okay, if you haven't watched the power forward tier list, if you haven't watched small forward all the way down, watch those, because I can't tell you guys how many times I'm streaming or on my YouTube videos, I'll get a question, yo, Ty, who do you prefer, this guy or this guy? Tier lists are the best way to go about that. And yes, you can just look at the overall tier list or listen to my thoughts on each and every player to get the most in-depth breakdown. Now, I do appreciate all the recent support. You guys have been going absolutely nuts. So thank you, each and every one of you guys, for making my dreams a reality. Now, let's hop into our center position. We got about 40 guys here. Let's get into it. Again, some of these guys were on the power forward list, such as like an Artis Gilmore. Now, I'm going to throw Artis Gilmore at A tier because I think, is he Rick Smith's level? Yao level? No. But that tier right below, I think that's where Artis Gilmore fits. 7'2", decent enough release, can handle the ball decently, good player build. He just does a lot of things really, really good in my team. And I think, you know, for a free unlimited reward that everybody can get, you don't even have to be good at the game, that everybody can get, he is deserving of A tier. Then we get into our Sabonuses. And you guys might disagree on this. I'm going to put the Hero Sabonis in A tier and the Heroic Sabonis in B tier. Now, who do I prefer, Artis or Arvydas Sabonis Hero card? I prefer Artis, but I do think they're closer together than the Hero to Heroic. Now, is there a massive difference? I don't know if it's massive, but there definitely is a difference between the two Sabonuses to separate them. The better Sabonis, well, both Sabonuses are 7'3". The better Sabonis is going to just be able to defend a little bit better. Stuff like that. I do think it does differentiate them in A tier. Bill Laimbeer up next, and let me tell you guys, he's F tier. And is the card stats badges bad? No. But if you've used Bill Laimbeer's jump shot, you're going to know exactly what I'm talking about. I mean, his jump shot is absolutely horrible in my team. And there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. The jump shot literally is the main reason Bill Laimbeer is not going to be able to play in my team. I don't hate Bill Laimbeer, but yeah, the jump shot is not a good one. Bill Walton up next, another card that just, he's going to be way better at the power forward than the center position. He's undersized even for the power forward position. And then when we talk about Bill Walton at center, I just don't necessarily see it. I'm not saying the card's horrible because he's not. I just don't necessarily see him being that next level good in my team. Card I really do like is Brad Daugherty. Now again, only what, 7 feet tall. I think his ceiling is B tier because of that. But if you're talking about him at the power forward position, do like him that a little bit more. For a free card, it's hard to get much better than Big Brad in my team. David Robinson up next. Am I crazy to still put him at A tier? I might be crazy. But call me crazy then, because I like his jump shot. Decent player. Model can compete with other guys. You got him in the token market, let's say, for that 250 tokens a while ago. Wish my team still did that. I think he deserves A tier. I like D-Rob in my team. Problem is, if I'm going to put him at A tier, I'm going to have to put Dikembe at A tier. So we might eventually have to move some people around. But why do I like Dikembe maybe more at center than power forward? Well, 7'2". That's a start. He's 7'2", great frame. Is he going to be, you know, Wemby movement-wise? No, but he's going to hold it down for what you need him to do. Dikembe has some pretty good longevity there in my team. And I'm putting Dirk at center in B tier. I feel like defensively, Dirk is just not going to get the job done at the center position. Now, you guys can disagree with me on that if you want to, but let's be honest, his player build is not that great. I know he's got a good and quick release, but as time goes on, everybody's getting a good release in my team. So, I mean, is there really a reason to be hyping Dirk up? I don't really see it at this stage. Domantas Sabonis up next. Am I crazy for putting him in B tier? But that's where I think he belongs. You know, 7'1", good player, model player build. He can hold it down at that center position. Is he the best? No. Are there guys better than Domantas Sabonis? Absolutely. But he has a good frame. He's going to at least try to compete defensively for you. And he's not a total liability. I'll give him B tier. Mobley Man up next, way better at power forward than center. And why? He's got good movement, he's got a good release, but he's only 7 feet tall. I still think at the center position, he definitely deserves A tier. But 100% Mobley's best position is that power forward position. And at the power forward position, it's hard. You're going to be hard pressed to find much better than Mobley. Great SIGs, good animations, just does it all on the court. Mirasan up next. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't love Mirasan, but he's D tier. Like, he's not F tier, but I don't love the card. He's at least tall. I mean, at least tall, has a decent enough jump shot, especially for the mid-range. I'm throwing him in D tier. The card's not great, but he's not a garbage man. Hakeem the Dream up next. And Hakeem's a tough one. I really think he's a tough one, because is he as good as D-Rob? In my opinion, probably not, but I think he's that step lower. I think B tier is the right position. Do I prefer that heroic Arvydas Sabonis over Hakeem? I personally do, but a lot of people in the community probably would not. Hassan Whiteside, be lying to say I've used the card a lot. I'm going to throw him at C tier, but honestly, I don't really know. Jack Sigma is interesting, because when you look at the center list, he's got the best jump shot up here, okay? Jack Sigma is literally chicken man in my team. The problem is he's 6'11". He's not going to get you stops. And he's almost unplayable, even at power forward, just because his player model is not great. I like Sigma. Any higher than B tier would be crazy. Jaren up next. I've said it before and I'll say it again with JJJ. Until he gets a new jump shot, it really limits how good he can be. And I don't even hate Jaren. I think Jaren is really solid enough in my team. But man, he needs a new jump shot badly in my team, because it just is pretty slow, pretty baited. Joakim Noah up next. Again, undersized for the center position. I guess I'll go C tier because his jump shot is really good. But he is undersized, and that really limits how good Joakim Noah can be. I'm not trying to hate on Joakim Noah, because I actually like Joakim Noah. I think Joakim Noah is really solid in my team. But man, that jump shot needs to be improved. Joel Embiid, I guess this hero, Joel Embiid, I respect more at the center position than power forward position. Because look, his movement's not great, his release isn't great. But at least at the center position, right, that's not all it's about. You know, you can be bad and give you other things on the court. I still think C tier is his limit. And I know there's going to be some Joel Embiid stands down in my comment section. And that's okay. Like, I get it if you are a big Joel Embiid fan. For me, I just think there are overall better options. C tier is his ceiling, in my opinion. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar up next. A tier for Kareem. Honestly, I think Kareem might be better at center than power forward. The problem is with Yao in my team. The problem is, you know, with Wemby. It's just really hard to find a place for Kareem. Am I saying Kareem is bad? No, because Kareem is outstanding. Is he worth his price? Probably not. Wish he had a better release, but I do still think he's deserving of that A tier. Kevin Willis, honestly, guys, somebody's going to have to show me Kevin Willis isn't good. Because I think the card in Kevin Willis is underrated and underappreciated. I'm going B tier with the card. Good frame, decent jump shot. I'm going B tier with Mr. Kevin Willis. This KP up next at 7'3", I'm sorry. I'm going A tier. And maybe I'm too high on him. And maybe that's just the facts, right? And if I'm too high on him, then I'm too high on him. And I'll live with the ultimate results. But with that being said, I like KP. 7'3", jump shot on very quick. He's a guy, I think, where the pros outweigh the cons. And I know I say that maybe too much, you know, when I'm comparing the pros and cons. But his release is on very quick. The real only difference between his Invincible and this card is the stats and badges. Release, basically the same. This KP, the top of A tier. And I hate having them at the same tier, but I think I have to. Unless I really move around people at A tier, which I might do. Just, you know, I might have to, depending on how many. Yeah, I'm going to have to. Because I don't see that many more garbage men in my team. So let's move some people around. Okay, Joakim Noah go down. Whiteside go down. Bill Walton go down. And that's fine right there. Okay, so who is my favorite at B tier? Let's do this. I guess Kevin Willis down, Hakeem down. I like Sigma more than Brad, so him probably down. And then I gotta guess go here. I like Sabonis a lot. Mutombo down. I think I like this a little more. My whole thing is you gotta make A tier special, right? If I'm gonna put all those people at A tier, I don't think it's special then. And so it's tough, but I think I like this a little bit more where we're just a little bit more balanced. And then we get to Manute Bol. If you're giving me one guy to take at the center position, I'm taking Manute Bol over anybody else. And it's in my opinion, not even close right now. He's 7'7", good frame. I do like Manute, I gotta say this, at the power forward position more than the center position, which you guys are like, dang, Ty, you're just trying to be a cheese ball. Well, isn't that what my team's about at this point? Doesn't height run the game? Manute at power forward is better than his center, but he is S tier. Marc Gasol up next, perfect addition into B tier. 7'1", good release, good frame. Is he, you know, the reason I struggle putting him in B tier It's just because of the lack of badges. I really struggle, but I still do believe he's B tier. I just don't know if you are going to absolutely love Marc Gasol like some of those other guys at B tier. Mark Eaton up next, A tier. And you're going to see me put some of these giants in A tier that you guys might not agree with. But what can Mark Eaton not do? Now, I get it. If you hate Mark Eaton's jump shot and can't agree with him, then I get it, right? His jump shot honestly isn't that bad in my opinion. I think it's decently quick considering he is 7'4". I don't necessarily know if it's the easiest of time, but I do think it's decently quick. Overall, Mark Eaton is absolutely outstanding. Opal Yao, A tier. And at this stage, I cannot put Opal Yao in S tier, although I still do believe he's better than Mark Eaton. I still do believe Yao is that top 5 or so center in my team. I just don't think S tier is where he belongs. Now, I will say this about Yao, okay? Galaxy Opal Yao has been a part of my No Money Spent Squad series for a very, very, very long time. And he's been a key person in kind of making things possible for me to really win on the No Money Spent, because with all these other guys out there, Galaxy Opal Yao, especially for his price right now, is an absolute steal for you guys out there, and he might move to S tier. This Yao, the other Yao, those guys are going into S tier. They're just going to give you a little bit more than Galaxy Opal Yao. Is it that big of a difference? No. But again, Dark matters compared to Galaxy Opals. The big thing is that Hero Yao is going to have 40 Hall of Famers. Compared to the 15 of the Opal, that's big. Titans Yao has 30 Hall of Famers, closer to that other Hero Dark Matter Yao. I just think they are closer together than the Galaxy Opal Yao. Mo Bamba, I love him, but I love him way more at the power forward than the center position. I think he's just undersized when we talk about him at the center position. I still like the card. I still am decently high on him at the center position, especially, you know, if you need a guy for cheap. It's just he's only 7 feet tall. He's going to get mashed by like a guy like Arvydas Sabonis. Miles Turner up next. I think D tier is where I've got to go with Miles Turner. I don't hate the card. Similar to Joakim Noah. I think both of them are 6'11". To me, if we were talking about 6'11 centers at this stage of my team, it's just tough. It's just tough at this stage, in my opinion. Vooch up next. I think Vooch goes into C tier. I don't necessarily love the card. I do think Hakeem is better than him, but I'll put him in C tier just because, again, he is a dark matter. He can play for you, and you can have some success with him. I mean, he's not horrible in my team, just not a card I rate highly. Patrick Ewing is a bona fide scrub that can't play. And I need you guys to hear me out and listen to that. I'm not just saying that to say that. I absolutely cannot stand Patrick Ewing in my team. I thought they'd give him a new release, give him something to make him a little bit better. No, they made this Patrick Ewing an absolute garbage man in my team. And if you're using Patrick Ewing, man, you need to reconsider your lineup and what you're doing with your squad, because that card absolutely stinks. Pau Gasol up next. I think I'm going to go C tier with Pau Gasol. I don't mind Gasol at all. Decent release, especially if you pair him with Marc Gasol, they become a little bit better. Is he the best, center on this list? No. But for a budget option, you can do worse than a guy like Pau Gasol. Peter Goodmanson, I'm throwing him at C tier. You can have him higher if you want, because his release is good and he has good height. He just doesn't, if you want a guy that gives you height, you got Mark Eaton, you got, Ralph Sampson. You've got other options at this stage. I don't think Peter is as valuable as he once was. Speaking of Ralph Sampson, we're going to put him at A tier. Is the card perfect? No, because I don't love his release. I don't necessarily love, a lot of different things about Ralph. Is the card still really good, really valuable? Yes. Do think Big Ralph deserves A tier. Rick Smits, S tier. This is one that might split the community, right? Because some people might think Invincible KP is better than Rick Smits. But if you haven't used Rick Smits, I think it's hard to really to demonstrate what he provides for you. Because when you look at these centers, okay, name a guy on this list that has a better release than Rick Smits. Manute doesn't, Yao doesn't, KP doesn't, although I love his release, Kareem doesn't, Artist doesn't, Arvydas doesn't, Evan Mobley is a good release. I think Rick's is easier to green. It's hard. Jack Sigma, again, might be quicker, but not as easy to green. Rick Smith's release is up there. I would say similar to Shaq, like that good of a release in my team. Rudy Gobert up next. I'm going to throw him at C tier. Has good height, going to compete with some of those other giants in my team. Is the card perfect? No. Release might not be the best. I mean, he's going to maybe lack some other things, but he's got good height, can shoot the ball at least decently, right? The opponent at least has to respect it. Not a perfect card in my team, but a card you can use and have some success with. Invincible Shaq up next, A tier. Another guy that I'm going to say, which I've said it a lot, going to be better at the power forward position than the center position. Now, I'm not trying to just overdo it and, and harp on it too much. But that's my opinion on I don't want to say a lot of people on this list, but when you talk about Shaq, when you talk about, you know, Evan Mobley, those guys are going to be better at power forward than the center position at this stage. And Shaq is definitely more than anybody else because his release is absolutely chick. Sean Bradley, he's a good for one thing, and that's height. That's all Sean Bradley is going to do on the court, but it does keep him out of F tier. If you at least are tall in my team, it keeps you out of the bottom feeders in my team. Tyson Chandler, right with Rudy Gobert, they're going to give you very similar things on the court. Both of them have a good height, have a good frame. Neither of them have the best release in my team, but again, you can use them and have some success with them. And that's all you can really ask for at that center position. Victor Wembanyama up next, S tier. Now, this one leaves, I mean, you can debate it. My whole thing is, at the power forward or center position, the next Victor is absolutely elite. And he is a buy now. So, do I like him more than Eclipse Yao? I personally do. Now, again, that's my personal opinion. You guys can disagree with me on that. Yao, probably my 6th best center right now in my team, the Galaxy Opal one. Again, like it, don't like it. That's my personal opinion right now. I love Victor. I just think he gives you a little bit more than the Eclipse Yao Ming in my team. Vlade Divac up next. I don't like it. I'm going to go D tier. Is the card horrible? No. You can use him. And, I mean, he can play for you. You just got to realize his release is a little bit baited in my team. If you got him for free, I guess he can do what you need him to do. But I tried him out on the No Money Spent and just wasn't that big of a fan. Walker Kessler, A tier. I mean, he's an invincible, right? He's an invincible. His release isn't horrible. He can do some things for you. Do I love Walker Kessler in my team? No. Do I think he's, you know, a top 10 center in my team? Honestly, probably not, okay? I just don't see it with Walker Kessler. I think his release is overall mid. And I think there are just better invincibles in my team. Will Chamberlain up last. I guess I got to throw him at C tier. I swear, Wilt needs to be our all-time spotlight reward with a better release. I'm telling you, if they make an endgame Wilt, or even an invincible Wilt, if they change his release as the all-time spotlight reward, I think it's going to make people happy. I really do, because Wilt's incredible, right? 7-1 wide player model, or long player model, I should say. I think Wilt Chamberlain would make a lot of people happy if they changed his release and gave him a good card as our all-time spotlight reward. Especially if they gave him an end game. Imagine him with KPJ at the 4. He would literally run that 4 position. So I'm hoping that's what 2K does. We'll obviously have to wait and see. But as it stands, this Supersonic Wilt is not great in my team. I need to know your thoughts on my center tier list down below in the comments. If there was one guy I'd have to move up, it would be the Galaxy Opal Yao. Overall, guys, the center position, it's not bad, but it definitely is top heavy with Manu and Yao. And, I mean, I guess you can include Victor Wembanyama in that as well. Drop a like on the video, guys. Subscribe if you are new, and as always, man, I love you guys, and have a blessed day.